In the vast tapestry of biblical prophecy, there are moments that stand out, visions so vivid, so powerful, that they echo through the ages. One such vision was granted to Ezekiel, a priest-turned-prophet, during one of the darkest chapters in Israel's history. Picture this: Israel is in exile, far from home, their hopes as dry and brittle as autumn leaves. It's in this time of national despair and spiritual desolation that God reaches out to Ezekiel with a vision that would shake him to his core. Suddenly, Ezekiel finds himself transported, not to the glorious temples of Jerusalem, not to the courts of Babylon, but to a desolate valley. And what he sees there? Countless human bones scattered across the valley floor, bleached by the sun and picked clean by scavengers. These weren't just old bones, the Bible describes them as very dry, emphasizing their utter lifelessness. As Ezekiel stands there, surrounded by this grim spectacle, God's voice breaks the silence with a question: "Son of man, can these bones live?" It's a question that seems to have only one answer. How could there be any hope for these dry, disconnected remnants of life? But before Ezekiel can fully process the impossibility of it all, God commands him to prophesy to these bones. And as the words leave Ezekiel's lips, something extraordinary happens. A great rattling fills the air as the bones begin to move. They click and clack, flying together, fitting socket to socket, bone to bone. But it doesn't stop there. Before Ezekiel's astonished eyes, sinews and flesh appear on the bones, and skin covers them. Yet, even as these bodies take shape, they remain still. Lifeless. There's no breath in them. It's a powerful picture of transformation, but it's incomplete. That's when God instructs Ezekiel to prophesy again, this time to the wind, or the breath, or the spirit. As Ezekiel obeys, a mighty wind sweeps through the valley. The breath enters these newly formed bodies, and in an instant, they come alive. They stand up, a vast army where moments before there had been only dry bones. This vision, as vivid as a waking dream, was more than just a supernatural spectacle. It was a message of hope, multi-layered in its significance. First and foremost, it spoke to Israel's national restoration. God himself explains that these bones represent the whole house of Israel in exile. Just as the dry bones came to life, so too would Israel be restored, brought back from the grave of exile and despair. But it goes deeper than that. This vision isn't just about physical restoration, but spiritual renewal. The breath that brings life to the bones is no mere wind, it's the very Spirit of God, promising not just a return from exile, but a spiritual awakening. And while it might not have been the primary focus, we can't ignore how this vision foreshadows the concept of bodily resurrection, a hope that would be fully realized in New Testament theology. But what does this ancient vision mean for us today, in our modern world so far removed from Ezekiel's time? First, it offers us hope in our despair. We all face our own valleys of dry bones, situations that seem beyond all hope. Ezekiel's vision reminds us that even in the bleakest circumstances, God can bring new life. It encourages us to believe in the possibility of spiritual revival, both in our personal lives and in our communities. Just as God's Spirit breathed life into those dry bones, so too can He revive our spirits when we feel dry and lifeless. This vision calls us to have faith in God's promises. Just as He fulfilled His promise to restore Israel, we can trust in His faithfulness to His word in our own lives. Moreover, it invites us to participate in God's work. Like Ezekiel, we're called to cooperate with God's restorative work through our faith and obedience. We may not be prophesying to literal dry bones, but our words and actions can be instruments of God's reviving power in the world around us. Finally, Ezekiel's vision underscores the value of prophetic insight. It reminds us to remain open to God's guidance and revelation, which can provide hope and direction in our lives. As we close our eyes and picture that valley of dry bones transforming into a living, breathing army, let it serve as a powerful reminder. No matter what valleys of hopelessness we may find ourselves in, no matter how dry and lifeless our circumstances may seem, we serve a God who can breathe life into the most impossible situations. Ezekiel's vision of the valley of dry bones stands as a testament to God's power to restore, renew, and revive. It challenges us to look beyond our current circumstances, to trust in the God who can bring life out of death, hope out of despair, and a future out of what seems like a dead end. In our personal struggles, our societal challenges, our moments of spiritual dryness, may we remember this vision. May it inspire us to hope, to trust, and to participate in God's ongoing work of breathing new life into our world. Are you inspired by timeless wisdom and seeking deeper spiritual insights? Don't miss out on more powerful content like Ezekiel's vision of the Valley of Dry Bones. Hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell to ensure you never miss an episode. Join our growing community of seekers and believers as we uncover the eternal echoes that resonate through the ages. Remember, every subscription helps us continue producing content that inspires, educates, and uplifts. Be part of something meaningful. Subscribe to the Eternal Echoes channel today.